Hi, I'm just doing a quick video here to show you. I've had a few people message me and say, what's my method for making half square triangles? So I'm going to show you two methods of making a half square triangle. Well, they're not really two methods. Two ways to use these rulers. I have these slotted trim rulers that are really great for making half square triangles. One of them is for the whole numbers, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 blocks, and the other is all for the half sizes. So this is what they look like when they're out of the package. So what you do is...
That one's broken, by the way.
Yes. So I've got, let me see, a 3-inch square here, and I've drawn the line on either, down the middle, and I've sewed 1/4 of an inch on either side of the line, and then I've cut it apart. So what I do is I look at my stitch line, and I know that I want a 2-inch half square triangle. So I'm going to look at the line here where it says 2-inch. See the dotted line? I'm going to put that dotted line on my sew line. So it's right there on the sew line. Okay, then I'm going to cut along the edge. Notice I cut a bigger square than I had to. I just wanted to show you how I squared it down. So I've cut that. And with these slotted trim rulers, they have slots all down the side, and those are to cut your dog ears. So I've gone in there, and I've gone in there, taken away my dog ears, and now I have a perfect half square triangle to open up and press. And my points always come in the point, so you'll never lose the tip of your star or your flying geese if your points always come directly into the corners. So that's one way you can make the half square triangle. But the easier way, the quicker way, so I want a 2-inch half square triangle. So I'm going to cut a full strip 2 inches of my background and a full strip of my color, and I'm going to sew along this line, and I'm going to sew along this line. So I actually have a tube. That's what I have. I have a tube here. I'll go to this end and start off. Okay, so now I'm going to take my half square triangle, my template for my slotted ruler. I'm going to lay it on my sew line, and I'm going to trim it just like this. Okay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to cut my half square triangle. I just moved that, sorry. And my other one. So I have one half square triangle. Okay, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to flip my ruler upside down, put it on the line, and I'm going to cut this side. Okay, so when I open that up, you can either cut your dog ears off with the ruler, or you can open it up and leave them there. I sewed this fabric on upside down by mistake. Anyway, so there's a 2-inch half square triangle. But see this funny angle that I'm left with here? I'm going to put that, my dotted line, right on the stitch. And my dog ear is already cut on this one now. So I'm going to cut up here. I only have to clip my dog ear on this side because the other one's done. And then I'm going to go up and I'm going to flip, so there's no waste with this at all. So I'm going to put my dotted line on my sew line, cut it, go in and cut my dog ear, and I have one. I'm going to go down and do this for the whole strip. I'm going to lay my dotted line on the sew line, line up my dog ear right along there. Oops, forgot to cut this way. So I only have one dog ear left to cut, doing it this way. You just go down the whole strip and do this.
We get it now.
Okay. Well, I just want to show a couple more. Okay. So that's what you do. So these rulers go up to, from sizes 1.5 to 6.5. But then you can also get the bigger ones. It goes from 5 to 10, or it goes from 5.5 to 10.5-inch squares. So this is good for doing those carpenter star quilts or anything that takes a really big half square triangle. Thanks.
It's upside down. Turn it. Yes, thank you.
There you go. There's my rulers. Thanks.
Ah!
Bye-bye.